Hello, Leo, Sun, Moon, Rising, as well as Venus placements. I hope you're well. Thank you so much for being here. I'm Jen with Timeline Tarot, and this is your prediction for March 2026. It is a collective general reading, and so as the messages come through today, just take what fits, leave what doesn't, because if it's not your message, it simply means it is meant for someone else. And be sure to check out your other placements if you don't know what they are. In the description box is a link where you can obtain your free birth chart. With all of that said, now let's begin. Tapping into the Leo collective now for Sun, Moon, Rising, as well as Venus placements. What does Leo not see coming for March 2026, or what do they need to know about? Let's get one more shuffle here for you. Thank you. In the heart of your spread, my dear, we have the Nine of Pentacles. In the top row, you have the Three of Wands. You have the Ace of Pentacles, and you have the Moon card. Flanking the Nine of Pentacles is the Five of Cups and the Knight of Wands. And in the bottom row, you have the Four of Swords, you have the Four of Pentacles, and you have the High Priestess. Sneak peek now into April. Can't believe I'm saying that. We have an Ace of Wands, we have the Emperor, and we have the Nine of Swords. And that leaves the Ten of Wands, Three of Cups, Knight of Swords, and a Page of Swords there at the bottom of the deck. Okay. I was going to say remind me, as if we're talking. Okay, I'm going to have to remind myself to clarify that Ace of Wands communication offer opportunity you're receiving in April. For now, let's just clarify the spread that we have on the table. I'm using the After Tarot deck to do that. The images in this deck are different, and therefore it changes the meanings a bit for these cards, but we'll go through them as necessary for your reading. All right, let's clarify this now for Leo, Sun, Moon, Rising, as well as Venus placements for March 2026. We're clarifying Three of Wands, Ace of Pentacles, the Moon, Five of Cups, Nine of Pentacles, Knight of Wands, Four of Swords, Four of Pentacles, and the High Priestess. Let's get one more shuffle here. Thank you. Just as I was about to say the Three of Wands, I was almost going to say Two of Wands because my vision went blurry and I couldn't read the lettering on the cards, even though my mind was like, no, that's the image of the Three of Wands. Maybe for some of you, your vision has been a little bit blurry or a little bit askewed when it comes to a particular direction you want to take or a decision you want to make. Let's see if that comes up in the reading. If not, it could just be for one of you watching where maybe there's a little confusion about a particular direction you want to take in your life. Clarifying the Three of Wands, we have the Queen of Cups. Clarifying the Ace of Pentacles is the Ten of Swords. Clarifying the Moon card is the Three of Wands. Interesting. So, all right, I'll get back to that. But if you were unsure about something at the time of this reading, then it looks like in March, again, it's like you'll gain clarity or you'll know the way to move forward. Five of Cups is clarified by the Two of Wands. Nine of Pentacles is clarified by King of Cups. Knight of Wands is clarified by Knight of Wands. Okay. Four of Swords is clarified by Four of Cups. Four of Pentacles is clarified by the Star. And the High Priestess is clarified by the Ace of Pentacles. Bottom of the deck, we have the Seven of Pentacles. Now looking into April. Seven of Pentacles, King of Pentacles, Six of Pentacles, that leaves the Five of Pentacles, Four of Wands, Seven of Swords, and the Lovers at the bottom of the deck. There's a connection here in your life that you thought was done and over with, whether it's professional, platonic, or romantic. And it looks like it's coming back around again in the month of March. Keep in mind, for a little bit over the first week of March, we'll still be in Mercury retrograde. All right, let's start off with your reading, but you'll see what I mean as we move through it. Your overall energy for the month of March is the Nine of Pentacles to the King of Cups. I like this. Because number one, you're very sovereign in your energy, whether you are coupled, partnered, or whether you're single. That Nine of Pentacles is someone who is really enjoying the fruits of their labor. They work hard for what they have. It takes a long time to cultivate those grapes that are depicted in the Nine of Pentacles card. But this individual has taken their time and they've cultivated a level of success or stability for themselves. And now they kind of get to reap the rewards or enjoy the rewards of their effort. In this particular card, there is a dove that is landing on this person's hand. I also think that will be a peaceful month for you, but birds typically also denote communication. So I do think that while you are in this a very peaceful energy, taking care of yourself, being very grounded, possibly working on your finances or having some type of financial goal that you've been making some strides towards and you're starting to see, some results, I do think that communication here is coming in. The King of Cups card in the After Tarot deck is interesting because it is depicted here as an individual who's dumping out an Ace of Cups, someone who's not interested in love at the current time. So if you are partnered, It doesn't mean that you're going to break up with your person in the month of March. What it means is you're feeling more sovereign by yourself, more comfortable doing things on your own. And you could be a little bit emotionally shut off to your person for some reason. Maybe there's been some issues between you and them, or you are involved in a relationship, but it could only be based at this time maybe on sexual or intimacy, or you're just getting to know the person. It's like you're not making yourself emotionally vulnerable towards this person. And if you're single, you don't seem very interested in meeting a person. It's almost because you're in this Nine of Pentacles energy, you've set some pretty high standards for yourself, which is great, right? I'm not telling you not to do that. But if you are coming across any new people or new potential dating partners, you seem to not be too thrilled or too wowed by them. It's almost like if you're a single Leo, it's like you now know your worth and your value and what you bring to the table. And you're not going to be easily bamboozled into a relationship. No one's going to sweet talk your pants off in the month of March, okay? And for others of you, like I said, if you currently are in a partnership, you're not really feeling very lovey-dovey for whatever reason. It doesn't mean that you're breaking up with your person or anything like that. Again, the feeling just seems to be I'm really focused on my pentacle resources and my sovereignty. And I think that's going to be particularly true for those of you where you are in a newer type of connection, where you're like, yep, I'm staying on my own. I'm getting to know you. The sex might be there with the two Knight of Wands cards there, but I'm not feeling emotionally vulnerable enough to trust you with my heart. And that's a good way to be a bit guarded in a connection. Top row, you have the Three of Wands to the Queen of Cups, the Ace of Pentacles to the Ten of Swords, and the Moon card to the Three of Wands. So when it does come to opening up your heart space, during the course of the month of March, and it's going to be different for all of you when it happens, you go from this place of, I'm being very closed off, emotionally speaking, again, whether you are single or partnered, I'm not sure for whatever reason, but you feel that's the right choice for yourself to kind of guard your heart at this time. But the Three of Wands to the Queen of Cups is the energy of someone who's now beginning to contemplate, should they move forward and become a little bit vulnerable? Should I become vulnerable with my person or this new person that I'm dating? Or should I become vulnerable enough to get out there into the world and maybe meet another love partner? So there is a curiosity here. The Queen of Cups is lifting the lid off the chalice here in the After Tarot deck, and she's a bit curious and intrigued by what she's receiving. So you kind of go from not interested in love, don't be mushy-gushy with me, I'm focused on my money, I'm taking care of myself, I'm good without you. You don't want to go to the movies? Fine, I'll go by myself. That's kind of the attitude to maybe I need to reconsider that position. And then you have the Ace of Pentacles to the Ten of Swords. And the feeling that I get here with the Ace of Pentacles and the Ten of Swords is I don't know what type of Leo I'm speaking to if you're single or partnered, okay? So I'm going to read it both ways. If you are a partnered Leo, then you're feeling like I'm trying to gain my sovereignty while in this connection, because at some point in time I felt like I lost myself within it. And now I'm wondering if I should be vulnerable with my person again. I mean, after all, we're still together. We're still trying to make a go of this. Whatever they did to me in the past has wounded me, but I'm considering becoming a little bit more vulnerable. But I'm conscious of the fact that the last time I did that, it was kind of a false start between us, Ace of Pentacles to the Ten of Swords, and I just don't want to feel that again, or I don't want to be rejected again. If you're a single Leo, then the feeling here is I've closed off my heart because of what's transpired in the past. I'm contemplating maybe moving forward and either approaching someone who I'm interested in, or responding to someone who's interested in me, or just being vulnerable enough to get out into the world to meet someone. But again, there's a little trepidation there but the last time I did that, I thought I would be in a relationship for the long run, right? Ace of Pentacles, I thought we were building something that would get to the 10 of Pentacles, and instead I ended up in the 10 of Swords. And so there's a little confusion here with the Moon to the Three of Wands. Like, I don't know if I want to do this, if I want to emotionally engage further with the person that I'm with, or open myself up enough to engage with someone new. But that seems to be cleared up here for you, because flanking the King of Cups to the Nine of Pentacles is the Five of Cups to the Two of Wands. So I feel because of that past experience, again, heartbreak or setback that you either had with your current person or with someone from the past, that little anxiety that you have there about being vulnerable again, either with them or with a new person, you're deciding like, maybe this is something that I need to do, right? Maybe it's time. Two of Wands sometimes talks about being at a Y point and needing to make a future plan. And so I do think here, and we see two people here in the After Tarot deck. So I do think whether you're single or partnered, you're giving a lot of consideration to not just showing up in fire or showing up in pentacle energy, or maybe even sword energy, just communicating with someone. But it's like, maybe it's time for me to decide to really move forward in cup energy. We have the two Knight of Wands cards here, which is amazing. There's a lot of passion, there's a lot of drive, there's a lot of courage, there's also a lot of sexually charged up energy in the Leo collective. And if you are in a connection, regardless of the length of time, it could be a little bit more passion based for the month of March, not because your person isn't interested in you from an emotional standpoint. It's that you're guarding your heart, either because what they did to you or someone in the past did to you. But then we have the Four of Swords to the Four of Cups, and I feel like you are healing that in the month of March. This whole thing, I can't be vulnerable again, I can't trust anyone again with my heart, or I can't trust my person again with my heart. The Four of Pentacles to the Star card, I really think that you are healing this, okay? And this is where the message takes a bit of a twist, if you'll say. We have the High Priestess to the Ace of Pentacles. I'm going to read this 3 different ways, and I'm going to clarify 2 of these cards, or actually 3 of these cards here for you. If you are partnered and you've had difficulty with your person, but you're still in the connection, I do feel that after what has transpired here with that Ten of Swords, again, whatever took place in the connection, I do think you and this person, although you seem to be very cautious, it does look like you're going to try to make another go with them with that Ace of Pentacles energy. It does look like you want to build up the connection or the emotional connectivity between you and them. If you are a single Leo, I see you here trying, again, by the end of the month, you're like, you know what, I'm ready for a long-term committed partnership. I'm not going to allow what the past person or people did to me to stop me from moving forward and finding another romantic partner. Then I have a third group of you. You're not going to want to hear it. And that's okay. You claim that new beginning in love however you want. But then I have a third group of you where you have someone from the past coming back around. Someone who caused that Ace of Pentacles to the Ten of Swords now comes back around sometime in the month of March. So let's start to clarify here. And yes, it could be for some of you where you open yourself up and you meet a new love partner and you still have a past person come back around. That's quite possible as well. Clarify that Ace of Pentacles there for me, please. For Leo, clarify that Ace of Pentacles. Five of Pentacles came out on the side. One more shuffle. Thank you. You have the Six of Swords and you have the Page of Cups. Okay. Bottom of the deck, we have a King of Swords. Could have been dealing with an air sign. Doesn't have to be. Tell me more about that Ten of Swords. One more shuffle. Thank you. You have the Ten of Cups. You have the Four of Pentacles. And you have the Page of Swords. Bottom of the deck, Page of Cups. Okay. If you're partnered and you've been having some difficulty, and that's why you're having some issues being vulnerable with your person, it does look like you are, I don't want to say you're letting go of the pain, but you're letting go, or at least you're trying to, because the Five of Pentacles came out on the side. You're trying to let go of what they did to you, and it does look like you are communicating this to them, that you do want to, it looks like you're communicating, like you want to make more of an effort to be emotionally available to them. And for others of you, you could be conveying here to them how much you really do care about them, despite what they've done to you. There's still a willingness here to want to move into calmer waters. There could be an apology here from both of you, like an exchange of apologies. And then there's sort of a feeling here of like letting bygones be bygones. And let's try to move forward together. Let's try to overcome the obstacle or argument here that we had in the connection. If you are single, I think what you're doing here is, I think you are, it's like at first, you're like, it's almost like, I'm looking at that as like death to the Ten of Cups. And I say that because the Four of Pentacles in the After Tarot deck is met by the Grim Reaper, Scorpionic energy. So if you're a single, I was going to say Scorpio, if you are a single Leo, the feeling here seems to be, I'm ready to get out there and meet some new people, but I'm not going to be quick to fall in love again. I'm going to explore. I'm going to see what's out there, but I'm still a little bit jaded and hurt over what happened in the past. So I might be available for passion. I might be available to wine and dine someone or be wined and dined by someone, but I'm going to reserve that cup space for the one, or after they have earned the right to be allowed in my heart space. Whether you're meeting someone new or not, or you're with your person and trying to fix things, there's a little bit of energy here of like a ghost from the past, someone that you let go of or they let go of you. I'm getting a very strong energy here of you receiving communication from this person in the month of March. So I would be mindful of that, whether you are single or partnered, you're trying to make a go with your person or a new person or find a new person. I still think you have someone from the past here contacting you. Clarify the High Priestess. One more shuffle. Thank you. High Priestess is Clark. King of Swords shows themselves again. The Three of Pentacles and the Knight of Cups. Bottom of the deck, we have Six of Wands. Okay, clarify that. Ace of Pentacles. One more shuffle. Thank you. We have the Seven of Wands. We have the Knight of Cups. And we have the Knight of Swords. Bottom of the deck, we have the Two of Cups. So, Leo, if you're currently partnered and you've been going through a difficult time, it looks like there's a conversation between you and your person where you express to them the desire to want to save the connection, or you're expressing to them how much that you love them or how much they mean to you despite what they did to you. And although you seem to be a little bit foggy about moving forward in the connection in terms of opening up your heart space, it looks like by the end of the month, that is what you are choosing to do with this person. I have two Knight of Cups on the table, so we're elevating from the Page of Cups to the Knights. So by the end of the month, you both, because I feel like that would then be representative of both of you there, both of you are discussing the conflict that occurred, both of you are deciding to move forward. There's a little bit of combativeness in the conversation when it comes to what transpired in the past, but at the end of the day, there's still love there between you and this person, and it looks like you're moving forward together. Single Scorpio. Why do I keep wanting to call you Scorpio? Maybe you're dealing with a Scorpio. I'm so sorry, Leo. Single Leo. You're single and you're getting out there. There are a couple of knights here that you're meeting. I think the reason why you're pouring out the cup is because you're looking for your equal. You're looking for a king or a queen. You have all the knights here are on the table, except for the Knight of Pentacles. So the relationship has the potential to go very fast. We have Knight of Cups, Knight of Wands, Knight of Swords, but these are all knights. And this all seems to be like friend level based kind of connections where maybe there's sex, but there's not a lot of heart on the line. And I think that's partially because of you. So you have several suitors this month if you're single and you're putting yourself out there, because again, no one's going to knock on your door and say, hey, Leo, you're awesome and you're single and I'm here. You're going to have to get yourself out there. But if you do, you have one, two, three, possibly four now that I'm looking at it, four potential suitors here. But again, they're all coming in night energy. And you seem to be like, yeah, you want to take me out, great. You want to spend money on me, great. You want to spend time with me, great. You want to have sex with me, okay, great. Kind of been needing that as well with the two Knight of Wands, because I'm telling you, some of you have a lot of suppressed sexual energy. But when it comes to you putting your heart on the line, it doesn't look like you're going to do that with any of these individuals. And I still have that third group of you here where even if you're fixing something with your person or you're entertaining these other people, you have someone from the past coming back around again. I want to clear that up for you, but then I definitely want to get into the Ace of Wands. But you have the Two of Cups. Oh, look at that. Another Ace of Wands here. And you have the Ten of Wands. By the time you are in April, either your current connection is a little bit more shored up and you're making a judgment call like, okay, we're moving forward. We're kind of starting from scratch. I'm allowing myself to be more vulnerable with this person. Or you're choosing one of these nights that you feel is, best suited for you. And it looks like you're going to continue the connection, although no cups there. So again, I think you're just going to reserve your heart a bit, but it looks like there's going out, there's spending money on one another, spending time on one another. And you seem to be initiating from the point of wanting the sexual passion or chemistry between the two of you. So whoever this person is, this new person, you seem to find them very highly desirable, and they feel the same way about you. So we have a lot of Pentacle and we have a lot of Wand action there in April between you and your current person, or you and the new person. And I still got that energy of the past person. So let me clarify the past person. Okay, for my Leos who have this past person coming back around, what do they need to know about the past person? One more shuffle here. Thank you. You have the Wheel of Fortune. You have the King of Pentacles. And you have the King of Wands. I knew it. I just knew it. Bottom of the deck, you have Six of Wands. There's another King of Cups. There's that Ten of Swords. Okay, this person is coming back around again. You have someone coming back around again. Now, if you're a Leo watching, you're like, I don't have any ex-lovers. One or two things happening here. One, that portion of the reading isn't yours, but if the rest of it resonates, take it. Or two, no. No, Leo, you got someone from the past. Look, if it's not a past lover, it could be just any past person. When I say ex, it could be an ex-friend. It could be an ex-boss that's contacting you out of the blue, wanting to know if you want to come back and work for them, because now they have a spot available. It could be ex-family member. So, yeah, when I say ex, it doesn't automatically have to be ex-lover, although I think for most of you it is. But I've got three kings on the table. And you're the King of Wands, whether you're masculine or feminine. Let me clarify this further. And I'll tell you why. I think it's the King of Pentacles is returning. I think the King of Pentacles is returning. And, oh, that's terrible. It could be Queen of Pentacles. I don't read body parts. I just heard cockroach. So it'd be like a cockroach infestation where you think you get it under control and then months go by and then you spot one and you're like, oh my God, I thought we took care of this. It's an energy of someone who's, you're having a difficult time shaking this person off. This is like a bad case of fleas. I'm sorry, crosswatcher. I'm not crosswatcher friendly. Clarify this person more. One more shuffle. Thank you. We have the Hermit, we have the Emperor, and we have the Knight of Pentacles. Bottom of the deck, you've got Seven of Cups, the Moon, the Three of Swords. You have someone here strong on the earth sign. Doesn't have to be. This person, I think it's been a minute since you've talked to this person. I think it's been a while. It looks like they're taking the initiative to reach out to you. Now, you're sitting here in masculine energy. You could be a feminine watching, but you're in masculine energy. You're looking away from this person. I don't think you're interested in them. You're either interested in the person that you're with, the possibility of getting out there, meeting some new people and dating, or just being sovereign on your own. I don't think you're looking away from this person. If you're a cross-watcher watching and your hope is to reunite with Leo, I can't speak for every Leo or Leo placement out there, but I'm going to say the majority of the collective is not interested in a past person. Just looking at this, all right, tell me more. What is it? Tell me about the intentions, this person's intentions. And look, it could be the boss, it could be the friend, it could be the family member who screwed you over. Star card. I'm telling this person wants to heal this connection with you. Tell me more about this person's intentions for Leo. One more shuffle. Thank you. You have the Star, you have the Six of Wands, wanting victory, the Nine of Wands. For me, the Nine of Wands is let's do this all over again. I don't want to give up on this connection. I'm standing my ground, and I don't want to give up on you. Page of Pentacles, Nine of Cups, Four of Wands. You have a past, I'm going to just call a past person, friend, family member, lover. Like I said, could be an ex-boss that is reaching out to you in March because they would like to try this again with you. Look at that. Two of Swords, the World card, and the Fool. Two of Swords is I've made my decision. There's no decision to be made in the After Tarot deck. Following this ending between you and this person, they want a new beginning. At the bottom of the deck, you have Ace of Swords. Everything I said is the truth. Take the messages how they resonate to you. We'll get you some. Oh, I wanted to, thank you for reminding me, clarify that Ace of Wands there for the month of April. Yeah, I had a feeling. I was like, oh, when the minute I put that Ten of Swords on top of the Ace of Pentacles, I was like, you know, when you get that feeling in your stomach, I'm like, okay, I know what this is. And then when we got to the bottom here, it was like High Priestess to the Ace of Pentacles. I was like, oh no, there's a return here of someone who wronged you. And again, that person can be anyone. Okay. I'm just going to leave your base cards on the table. Okay. Can you clarify that Ace of Wands, the Emperor, and the Nine of Swords? This is definitely a partnership-based connection, a romantic partnership-based reading for you. Okay. So if you're not interested in love or you just want to focus on money, please check another placement. So whether you are partnered or you're single meeting someone or meeting a few people, we saw a couple of nights there for you, or even if it is this past person, clarify that Ace of Wands here, because you came up as the Emperor twice, two different decks. And I just feel like you're either looking for your current person level up, the people you're dating, you're entertaining, like I said, maybe some sexual energy, or you're buying them stuff, they're buying you stuff, but you're not going to put your heart on the line until the person you're with levels up and meets you where you're at. And same thing with that past person. Like you're showing up here in Emperor, Empress energy, so you might entertain a night because it's a look good, smell good, feel good, but you're not going to slap the lifetime partner label on that person. And it's probably because of what you've gone through in the past. Tell me about that Ace of Wands. One more shuffle. Thank you. Ace of Wands clarified by Page of Swords, Seven of Pentacles, and the Five of Pentacles. Bottom of the deck, you have King of Swords. This King of Swords really likes your energy today. All right, Leo. Let's clarify that Ace of Wands further. One more shuffle here. Thank you. Strength, Hanged Man, and the Five of Swords, bottom of the deck, Two of Cups. It's definitely a partnership connection reading. Okay, everything I said about your current partnership there, if it resonated for you, you're going to move forward with this person. You have not fully forgiven them for whatever transpired there in that Ten of Swords that we saw. You're going to move forward with them, but you're very anxious. Five of Swords, Nine of Swords, you're still feeling some kind of way about what they did, even though you're like, I'm willing to try again because I love you, let's move forward. It looks like you're going to keep this more in passion energy for now anyway. If you are a single Leo and you're meeting all those people, you are not moving forward in any long-term committed partnership with any of them. Could be sexual passion with one of them, or maybe more. I don't know. You're definitely talking to someone here, and that could be flirty text or something like that. You know, sexting, that kind of stuff. But you're still pretty closed off here when it comes to opening up your heart space. You also feel like the people that you're meeting aren't really at your level. And again, I don't think you're being obnoxious. I just think you've learned your worth and your value, and you're not going to settle for less because you've done that already. Leo, this past person coming back around again, I'm going to be honest with you. Some of you might engage in the sexual connectivity with them because maybe you haven't had it in a while. We see your sexual energy charged up, and it could just be sexting, dirty texting, that kind of stuff, phone call kind of stuff with the Page of Swords. It could be one-on-one for some of you, but I don't think you're allowing this person back into your life. You're seeing them for what they are, and because you have needs that need to be met and they are a familiar match to you, they're a familiar person, there's a little bit of a comfort zone there. It looks like for some of you, you will engage in sexual passion or activity with them, but you're going to hold yourself off. Like, you're not going to just jump into a relationship with this person because you kind of know what it's all about with them. But there is a familiarity. Thank you, Margaret Retrograde. Thank you very much. And there is something familiar about them. Clarify that. Seven of Pentacles. That came out twice. King of Pentacles to the Six of Pentacles. We have the Fool. We have the Lovers. And we have the Four of Wands. Bottom of the deck, we have Queen of Wands. Clarify this further, please, for me. Seven of Pentacles, King of Pentacles, Six of Pentacles. One more shuffle. Thank you. You have the Ace of Swords. You have the Page of Pentacles. Ace of Pentacles again. Bottom of the deck, Three of Wands. Kind of how we started off your reading was with the Three of Wands. I don't want to keep reiterating the message, but it's clear that if you are partnered, you're going to make a go of it with this person. Maybe you share a home with them or you have children with them. You're going to try to make the relationship work. Again, there's passion, there's communication, there's spending money on one another. You are totally closed off. You're not truly forgiving this person for what they did, even though you're still actively engaging in the connection. You're single, you're entertaining, being entertained. You're keeping your options open in love. You're not opening up your heart to anyone either. And if it's the past person, there is an offer here from them for the two of you to go away. This could be like an overnight stay or a weekend getaway. It looks like you're going to take them up on the offer. I got to be honest with you. But again, you're not putting your heart on the line. Okay, let's get you some oracle cards. We'll close it out with kippers and advice. A little long on your message. I'm so sorry. One card here for each row. Thank you. Middle row here. Okay. I told you you're holding on to stuff. The card says release resentments. We'll get to that in a second. Let's get a couple more oracle cards here. Quiet retreat. Yeah, I think some of you in April, this person could be your current person or the new person you meet or that past person where you're like, oh, I'm just going to keep them in passion energy. I do see an invitation here to get away overnight or a weekend stay or something like that. And I don't know if it's happening in April, but it looks like you're being asked in April. Okay, let's see what we have here for you. You have sever vows of poverty. That would be like severing the vows of emotional poverty. And you have soul expansion. Your consciousness is expanding. You understand the connection between all things. So apply that how you see fit, you know, because I don't know which group you're in, 1, 2, or 3. Then you have release resentment and you have light activation. Shine your light. Your internal guidance is coming through loud and clear. If you're going to stay with your person and make it a go, then you're going to have to really work on forgiving them and releasing that resentment for whatever they did. Otherwise, you are rebuilding the structure of your connection on a faulty foundation because whatever took place there damaged the connection. And we can't just wallpaper over the cockroaches or paint over them and pretend everything's fine. Everything's not, you know, not fine. For those of you where you are engaging with some new people because you're single and you're ready to mingle, there is something here about releasing resentments, because you could start having a little bit resentment build up. Like, why is everyone I'm meeting not at my standards? And you may start to question those standards or question yourself. And that is not the time for you to question yourself. And also release some resentment with the people that you're meeting. Not everyone you meet is going to be your, your lifelong partner. And I would just kind of have fun with it. If you're getting back out there and you're starting to date and you're meeting people, I would just have fun with it. Obviously be safe. But if you come off very jaded or very guarded, whoever is dating you, they're going to pick up on that energy. And if you have that past person coming back around again, if you want to welcome them back into your life, then you also will need to heal whatever it is that they did here. Otherwise, I don't know how you're going to rebuild a connection with someone if you're still holding resentment towards them. And then you have quiet retreat, and you have sacred self, unleash your spirit, express your gifts, dance to the sacred rhythm of life. I do think by the end of the month or moving into April, all three groups, there's some discussion here about going away overnight or for the weekend or planning some trip in the future. I don't know. I don't feel like it's work related. It could be where they have something to do for work or you do and you're inviting the other. It could be something like that, but I feel it's more like let's get away kind of thing. Let's get you some kippers. We'll get 2 for each row, and we'll close it out with advice cards. I'll get advice for each of the groups that we have. Family room and message. So yeah, if you're currently with someone, you're going to be having discussions with them about the family or moving forward together as a family. If you're single, you could be concerned about some of the people that you are engaging with, right? Because you're looking for long-term committed partnerships, someone to have a family with or build a family with or combine families with. And you could be a little concerned as you're starting to get to know people and you're exchanging text messages and stuff. You could just feel like, oh my God. And for others of you, whether you're single or partnered, you have this past person come back around. It's almost like, what? Like, look at her face looking at the letter. Like, seriously? 2 cards here for this middle row. You have thoughts and you have journey. So you're all heavily contemplating opening up your heart again in connection, whether you are partnered or single, and especially if that past person comes back around again. You seem to be very weary about whether or not you want to give them another try. Although I do think for some of you, you will engage with them passionately again because they are familiar. And then you have occupation. And you have coffin. That's going to be very specific for those of you where you have this past person coming back around. Can I get a card on coffin, please? You have despair. Can I have one more? Thank you. You have imprisonment and you have high honor. Yeah, I think there's someone here that you blocked or it's like they feel locked out of your life. And it looks like they're coming in again. So again, ex-friend, ex-family member, ex-lover. Heavy on the lover, but claim it how you want. And I guess we'll see how the month unfolds, but you have someone here trying to get back into your good graces. Like they're making it their job to try to get back into your good graces. 3 cards of advice here for my Leos in a difficult relationship where they're trying to reconcile with their person. Any advice for them in the month of March? Any advice for them? One more shuffle. Thank you. Currently in a connection. Page of Pentacles, Knight of Swords, and the 8 of Pentacles. Bottom of the deck, 8 of Swords. Yeah, I do think that you can work on the connection. I mean, there's genuine love here between you and this person. But before we just plant a new seed in that Page of Pentacles, we need to discuss what transpired here. Otherwise, it's just going to continue to plague you. 8 of Swords, 9 of Swords. There could be a trust deficit now because of what occurred. So I definitely think that there's communication here that'll be needed in order to truly and fully heal the connection. Chariot and the 8 of Swords. You're going to have a really difficult time moving forward. If you're constantly plagued with what are they doing or who are they talking to, or again, I don't know what that 10 of Swords was back there, but you're gonna have a difficult time rebuilding your relationship if it's just sourced or rooted in pentacle and passion and conversation. It's like, but where's the love? So you're gonna have to work on that. Again, if you want to, it's only advice. 3 cards of advice for my single Leos who are getting out and mingling, and they have a couple of opportunities. We have the Queen of Wands. One more shuffle. Okay. Thank you. 6 of Cups came out on the side. One more shuffle here. Thank you. And you have the 2 of Cups. So as you're out and about and you're meeting some new people, don't be so quick to fall in love. Don't be so quick to, because you went out to dinner or they smiled at you in the grocery line and now you exchange phone numbers. Don't be so quick to be like, oh, that's my person. That's my past life soulmate, or that, I'm going to run off and marry them. Be exuberant, be warm, be vibrant like the Queen of Wands, but be cautious. Queen of Wands is also the second most intuitive queen in tarot. It is your queen. So yeah, you can be determined to want to date these people or get to know them, but I would reserve judgment in that I'm going to spend forever with the rest of my life with this person. I just don't think you should rush quickly into love. And I don't think that you're going to do that already looking at the cards, but this is just telling you, like, don't do that. Get to know this person first. Yeah, I just saw King to the Queen of Pentacles. Yeah, make sure that they're in it for the long run and that they're at your level. And now for those of you where you have a past person coming back around, let's get 3 cards if it's a platonic, meaning a friend or a family member, or like I said, an ex-boss or someone you used to do business with even coming back around. 3 cards of advice here. If that King of Pentacles is a platonic. One more shuffle. Thank you. We have the 4 of Wands. We have the Wheel of Fortune. And we have the Fool card. So if it's a platonic coming back around, like a friend, a family member, like I said, an ex-boss, there's the opportunity here to celebrate, harmonize, reconnect with this person. You do have an opportunity here to have a new beginning with them or to rebuild the connection with them. So if that's something that you want to do, then yeah, it's definitely here for you. But the Fool sometimes talks about being very free-spirited. And there's something here about being free-spirited when you're reconnecting with this friend or this family member. And I would say in that respect, you can't hold any resentments towards them with what happened. You're either going to be siblings again or you're not. You know what I mean? You're either going to rebuild the parent-child relationship or you're not. And for those of you where it is a romantic partner, 3 cards of advice for this is an ex-romantic partner. One more shuffle. Thank you. Ex-romantic partner. Ace of Swords. 5 of Swords. 5 of Swords there for that person too. And the Knight of Pentacles. Bottom of the deck, Page of Wands. Go slow. I mean, if you want to reconnect with them, go slow. But, know what you're getting into here. Be honest when you receive that communication. Tell me more about that 5 of Swords. One more shuffle. Thank you. 5 of Wands. Temperance and the 4 of Cups. Bottom of the deck, the Emperor. There you are again, whether you are masculine or feminine. I don't feel like this person is a committed partner. That might have been one of the reasons why they were breadcrumbing you to begin with. Or, I don't know. Either they're committed elsewhere, Leo, or they're just not a commitment type of person. And if you're going to re-engage with them, you're going to have to be aware of that. Don't think you're going to win at all costs. Like, oh, now they're back. I'm going to lure them away from their other person or their spouse or something like that. I think that's lose-lose across the board. I have to be honest with you, because this person is very slow to commitment for whatever reason. Either they're involved elsewhere or they're just a hard to pin down energy. If you want to move towards them out of passion and fire because they're a familiar energy, go ahead. But if you think that they're back and you're going to fall in love and run to the altar, I don't see it happening with the 4 of Cups. I think you're going to be disappointed again. Anything else Leo needs to know about that past person, past romantic partner? One more shuffle here. Thank you. King of Pentacles. It could be an earth sign for some of you. 7 of Wands and the 5 of Pentacles, and then you have the Tower. If you want to re-engage to talk or to keep them in the friend zone area, or again, just for the passion, go right ahead. But this person, I don't know why, but they do not want to move forward in a long-term committed partnership. They're happy with a partnership sitting in the 4 of Cups and the 5 of Pentacles. They're not looking for 10 of Cups, 10 of Pentacles. And I don't know why that is. I don't know if they have loyalties elsewhere, obligations elsewhere, or they're just a commitment phobe. But you're going to end up right in the 5 of Pentacles with them again if you think that this time around it'll be different. So that is what I have for you, Leo. Those are all your messages for the month of March 2026. I don't even know what to call your video. I guess you're being very cautious with who you're opening up your heart to. And after everything that you've been through, I think that's a very good thing. But you will need to work on the resentment that you're holding, whether you want to stay with your current person, go out and date, or even if you're entertaining this past person, or you just want to stay single and not mingle at all. I mean, it'll be different for all of you, but that resentment is really going to have to be looked at. Can I get 3 cards on the resentment? Because I think some of you are still bitter over what that person did to you. Can I have 3 cards on healing that resentment? One more shuffle. Thank you. The World card, the Six of Wands, and the Moon. Bottom of the deck, Ten of Cups. How do you heal the resentment? Accept the fact that that person, whether you allow them back into your life or not, or whether you're going to stay connected to your partner, you're going to have to, you don't have to do anything, right? Divine gift of free will, but your victory comes in looking at it not as a loss, or not as a heartbreak, or not as a setback, but looking at it as a lesson. A needed lesson in your life's journey, something that your soul signed up for. And if you look at them as a teacher, then you're not going to hold so much resentment for them, because as hard as that Ten of Swords was, they fulfilled their obligation to you for that specific soul contract that the two of you had together. And you wouldn't know your worth as the Nine of Pentacles today had it not been for those lessons. And if you can see it that way, you'll be able to have some victory, and you'll be able to move forward, and you won't be holding on to the anger and the resentment and, you know, the suppression. Sometimes the Moon card could talk about us suppressing fears, or suppressing insecurities, or suppressing anger even, you know, suppressing all of those emotions. And I think you can have victory over that if you can look at that person as a teacher, as opposed to someone who broke your heart or betrayed your trust. That is what I have for you for March 2026. If you like those messages, they resonated with you, you want to claim all or part of it, please be sure to click like, share, comment, and subscribe. Hype the video if you're able to do that. And until I read for you again, I'm wishing you light, love, and peace.